Little J Flight 174BH here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. This is a redesigned floor plan, so technically a new floor plan from Jayco at the time of this filming. Pretty much replaces the 184BH in my view, in that it has the same general layout, but instead of a front U dinette that mom and dad have to sleep on, it has a front bed that mom and dad get to sleep on. There's a big difference there. Other than that though, it's the same Jayco that's been a bestseller for 10 straight years. Since 2005 and counting, the J-Flight is the #1 seller in the entire RV industry. It's a pretty massive accomplishment. Question is why? Especially in this little mini camper segment here, these narrow body, single axle guys. This whole concept is resurging pretty significantly, and we haven't really seen it this big since the old Fleetwood days. And I don't think it's ever been this strong or built this well or appointed either, and that's what's really neat. Now that is a huge difference in these little mini J-Flights as compared to a lot of the other mini campers. This is built exactly like all the other J-Flights. The roof structure, the floor, the walls, everything is still built the same. That is not typically the case in the mini camper segment. Some of these have a roof that is literally just a thin sheet of aluminum, and that is it, with no structure. I don't know of any others that have a standard power awning out here, and that is one of those things that you're going to use this every single day. You want that superior appliance right there. That big number 2 that's blue in the window, indicative of the fact that this being a Jayco has twice the warranty of anything else in this class. 2-year bumper to hitch. J-Flight at Jayco, they're adding a big front window here, and it gives you so much light, and in a small trailer every ounce counts. Every little bit of light you get in here opens it up, makes it feel bigger and brighter, and you're going to be very happy that you have it. This comes in only what is this, 2,700 pounds, something like that. Oh, pardon me, 2,950. 2,950 is what this one weighs. Still minivan towable. If you've got a standard 3.0 liter in your minivan, it's going to be pushing it a little. If you got an upgraded 3.3 or anything, you're fine all day long. And obviously, if you got a tow package SUV and larger, you're ace, buddy. Let's get dug in here. We've got a diamond plate up front. Not everything in this class has it. And a lot of the features I'm going to show you are not at all unique to the RV business, but they are very uncommon or otherwise not found at all in the mini camper segment. We have radial tires, not cheap bias plies. Now the other thing that I really like is, just like their big brother full-blown J-Flight, they have galvanized steel wheel wells in case you experience a tire blowout. It gives you a shield to help protect your trailer. I have literally seen twice a flat tire total an entire trailer from an insurance standpoint because it did so much damage. The people knew it happened. They stopped as soon as they could. But when you're going 75 miles an hour down the road with an RV and you have a steel belted radio blow out and start tearing up your interior, it does a lot of damage before you can get her brought down, and there's just not much you can do that. Sorry about the umbrella. It is kind of drizzly and cruddy today, so I'm trying to make sure that the show goes on and get us rolling. I am going to have to cut our outside tour a little short, though I do want to mention that in this class we have a couple things here. Nice Furion outside speakers, marine grade, and Furion is stuff that's made to be really, you know, it can sit in the sun and get really hot. It can sit in the cold and get really cold. It can be rained on. It can be dry. It doesn't matter. Furion electronics rock, and they just perform. Also, your stovetop hood does vent outside. That means that it is exhausting heat. And it's not just masking odor, which is what a charcoal filtered non-outside venting vent does. I don't know if I phrased that well, but I think you get the idea. Bear with me as we step inside. Now, even just little details like the fact that it has a door strut so the wind can't whip it open. It's awesome. I do need to set my umbrella down. I clicked that shut a little early and I got water all over myself. And I'm just that smooth, apparently. So, right when you walk in, I like to point out that we have all LED lights here in this thing. And unfortunately, some of the rain got to the camera. Pardon me, I need to wipe this off real quick. Not very professional, but now it's clean. Okay. So, again, right when you walk in, all LED lights. Now, we have some LED spotlights, like above the bed here, or above the dinette, in some extra little areas that you're going to enjoy. The mattress up front. This is, again, the difference between the 184 and the 174 is the 174 has a full-time bed for mom and dad, and instead of just an extended bench, they do put a little couple's dinette here as well. So those are the only two real changes. Other than that, everything's pretty much the same. And this has been an amazing seller, and now that it has a full bed, I'm going to be willing to bet we're going to have a really hard time keeping these in stock, because these little single axle Jaycos are it's the #2 bestseller under 20 feet. They fly off shelves, and they're from the #1 brand out there. And honestly, I think if they could build more of them, they'd be the #1 seller, but they cannot build them quickly enough. So we have big cross breeze windows on both sides of the bed. That's a fire escape window, so it does open very large for breeze. Your air conditioner, standard, in this mini camper segment, you generally have to pay to upgrade to add an air conditioner. These aren't usually standard in mini campers. If you do pay to add the upgraded AC, it's typically only a 5,000 BTU. Nothing wrong with that. Standard, not paying extra, Jayco has an 8,000 BTU. So this is 60% stronger than the one you have to pay to upgrade in something else. Now we have a big overhead shelf here, and this is something they do in pretty much all their models, because again, you need every little ounce of storage you can get in this thing. That front window, again, really opens it up in here, makes it feel so you're not in a coffin. And we do have a Denver mattress bed up here with the teddy bear cover, which helps keep things nice and warm. Compared to a normal mat that you get in a small camper like this, it's 50% thicker and better. This decor, by the way, this fabric pattern is called pecan, or pecan, depends on what part of the country and how you like to pronounce it. I welcome both, as long as you give our dealership a chance to earn your business. I don't really care. But the color scheme in this video on these fabrics, it might be different from the one we have in stock. Just keep that in mind. Let me spin us around here real quick. I guess I kind of went the long way about it. Extra storage above the dinette there. Again, cross breeze windows there, and we have a venting vent. Well, yeah, we have one of those right here. Man, I'm telling you, it's a good thing I don't have to, speak to the public for a living like I'm doing right now, because I am just tongue-tied like crazy lately. Just basic stereo for entertainment, AM, FM, CD here. You can plug a little auxiliary input here if you want to, take your phone and hook it up, or an MP3 player or something like that. It's got all kinds of USB inputs. You can do all kinds of fun stuff with it. For the kids, or for guests, we have a pair of single bunks back here, and just like up front, we're getting the nicer Denver Mattress Bunks. That's all they use at Jayco. They use better sleeping. Now, each bed space does get their own little night light, in a sense, and that's not really a night light. That thing's pretty darn bright. You do have a dry bath. The difference between a dry bath and a wet bath is that in a wet bath, your toilet is in the shower pan. It'll save you a lot of space, but it's also not the most fun thing to use. Keep in mind, though, when you're in a small camper, you're not going to be, spending extra time in here if you can help it. This is a utility space. Though, I do like to point out that even in their smallest, most basic campers, they still have a foot flush stool. And they still have a skylight. They don't try to cheat by putting the power vent fan above the shower. So you're still getting some nicer creature features here. Big pantry space, which is awesome, because again, we've talked about how all the storage counts in this thing. That is floor-to-ceiling storage, because this opens up as well down here. Let me back up a little bit, give you a nice shot of the kitchen space, because it is pretty sharp. There's lots of cupboard space down here. I'll open some of that up in a minute. There is a little freezer drawer in this gas and electric fridge. In these small campers, you do need to scale down your appliances a little bit, just for the sake of size, and limitations. This open space right here is just any function you want. Now, there are TV hookups if you do want to put a little TV here. Considering this is a wood skeleton trailer, you could tap into the studs and you could put a wall mount TV right there if you're short on space. We also do have extra spotlight here for kitchen prep. Overhead storage for plates and whatnot, boxes of cereal. We do have a microwave even. In the mini camper segment, you don't always find stuff like microwaves. Or again, a venting hood here. If you didn't have this and you tried cooking on this, you would heat the trailer up like crazy and you'd be sweating to death. And again, big pots and pan storage space down here. I mean, and that's just the stuff you can see. The stuff you can't see is why this has twice the warranty of anybody else in its class. Like the fact that they're still using their Magnum Truss roof system from their big fifth wheels and J flights in this little camper. The fact that we still have a better grade floor. The fact that we're using better components here and there. Like you don't lift this up, you don't see OSB. You don't see cheap stuff. They don't do that. You know, your interior walls are solid. You can't wobble these interior walls because they actually have skeleton structure in them. That's why this bunk holds 300 pounds, not 150 or 200. This is built exactly like the biggest J-Flights out there. It's just smaller. That's what I like about it. They didn't make it cheaper. They just made it smaller. And that's how it's less money. They made it right. And there's, again, a reason why J-Flight is the #1 seller out there for so many years. No one has ever matched their sales record. Ever. Never, ever. It's never happened, and it probably never will again. So give us a call, 800-256-5196. Haylet RV of Coldwater, Michigan. Take care. Stay safe. Happy camping.